Today, we're going to talk about the ADDIE model. The ADDIE model is the groundwork for instructional design and instructors to create instructions for learners. This can be used in a school or any working environment for lessons or a training module. It serves as an outline or roadmap for training. It consists of 5 steps or phases in the following order: analysis, design, develop, implementation, and evaluation. The ADDIE model has been around for decades and has proven to be very effective in the world of e-learning. Let's look at each step. The first phase is analysis. It's critical to analyze thoroughly what the training needs are in order to figure out what the instruction goals are, expectations, and objectives. Figuring out the exact goals and objectives help you and the instructor or trainer to save time and money on what is really needed in order to train or instruct the learners. The analysis phase is broken down into 4 parts: instructional goals, finding out exactly what your client would like to train or teach the learner; instructional analysis, this outlines the steps that the instructor will need to obtain the instructional goal; learner analysis helps you to determine what the learners already know, which could involve research or interviews; and learning objectives are what the learners should be able to complete after the instruction. This could be a set of skills, an overall attitude, or overall knowledge. Learning objectives need to be very specific. Next is design. The design phase consists of creating the blueprint or roadmap by possibly modifying the objectives and creating the proper method on how the instruction will be delivered. In other words, if you want to put together a shelf or a toy that came with many parts, you most likely won't do this without looking at a manual first. In this phase, with the given objectives, you'll design that manual. This gives you the path on how this course will be arranged and how they will appear. This is where storyboards and prototypes may come into play. With the manual in hand, you can now begin to develop. Development is the third phase. This is where you produce the content of the learning materials which were outlined in the design phase. To give a sports reference, if you created the playbook in the design phase, then the development phase is where you give a run-through of each play. This is where you practice what's in the playbook, or at least a sample of a play you would like to run. You're testing your content. This can be done through pilot testing by having a small group participate and get feedback. This gives you a chance to adjust and fix something before completing the entire course or instruction. Implementation is where you share and offer your course materials. You've designed, tested, and made your modifications to your course, your manual, and your playbook. It's time to display them and show it to the learners or to instructors or trainers to deliver to the learners. In e-learning, this is where you would use an LMS like Canvas or a website. We'd also prepare the learners and trainees in this phase to make sure that they're ready to have the proper requirements to take your course. This can be done through orientation. Now that the course has been delivered, it's time to evaluate. Evaluation is the final phase of the ADDIE model. You will now review the level of success for implementing the course and continue to adjust based on the results and feedback. Did your learners meet the objectives and reach your goals and their goals? Was the instruction clear? Was it practical? In formative evaluation, you will always evaluate throughout the entire ADDIE process, meaning that each step will be evaluated as you progress. There's summative evaluation, which evaluates the learner's overall success and ability at the end of a course. It can also be evaluated during a course. Their performance is usually compared to certain ranks, standards, grades, or benchmarks. You're evaluating the benefit of the instruction. Learners can give you their reaction by using a Likert scale or survey. You can give performance or behavioral evaluations as well. Overall, each step is highly essential in creating a course and sharing it with instructors and trainers for their learners and trainees.